Hello, everybody. Today, quite an important topic, I think, crystal support for teachers. So one of the things that's come through to me from the crystalline guidance is to make some crystal suggestions that can be supportive for teachers at this time, and also make some suggestions in terms of how to work with them. So in a previous video, I shared some information in terms of how to clear your energy, both internally and externally, working with selenite and smoky quartz. And so I encourage you guys to watch that video just in terms of energetic self-care as you come home every day. If you are teaching in person at school, which I know a lot of you will be, when you come home, to help clear your energy. You can certainly also wear smoky quartz when you are going to school, when you are teaching, to help with stress management. So you can add that in along with the recommendations in that other video. One of the very first things that comes through for teachers in terms of what they're going to need for support is grounding and also sustaining vitality, sustaining energy. Because when we are facing circumstances on a daily basis that are stressful, that are causing anxiety, that are full of emotional turmoil, because of course you're not just going to be feeling and experiencing your emotional turmoil, you're also going to be feeling and experiencing the emotional turmoil of your students, of your colleagues, of parents who are going to be expressing concern, as well as possibly your own families. So being able to stay grounded, being able to stay stabilized, being able to keep your energy up is going to be important, because all of that can be very draining. And of course, as your energy becomes drained, you become tired and more tired. That feeds into stress, that feeds into negative patterns of thought and feeling, and that will continue to drag you down. So one of the crystals that I recommend, you don't need a piece this big. One of the crystals I do recommend, though, is red jasper. And the purpose of red jasper, and a lot of these crystals will have multiple benefits, and I'll just run through them in terms of what's specific to you. The benefits of red jasper are that it's grounding, it's stabilizing, it's revitalizing, it's great for endurance, especially when we're going through phases or periods of time where we're facing a lot of challenge, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, emotional. Another one of the nice key properties and benefits of wearing red jasper is that it's good for courage, it's good for strength, and of course, we're all being called on extra reserves of courage right now in terms of what we're facing in our lives and in the world. So red jasper is a good choice. I also recommend tiger eye, and the reason I recommend tiger eye is, again, we've got that stabilizing, balancing energy, which helps to keep us in our sovereignty, helps to keep us centered, helps to keep us in our power. It's highly empowering. It also is really great for gut instinct. And the thing is, as you're moving into this new teaching situation, this new way of being in terms of your role as teacher, there are things that are still going to be needed to are still going to be needed to be figured out. There are things that are going to have to be troubleshooted. There are things that maybe could work in a better way. And so also being able to be instinctive and to trust your instincts and respond to that can be helpful. I can recommend hematite, especially for those of you who feel that when you get stressed, when you get anxious, when you're confused or concerned, you really feel like your energy moves up here into your head. And then, of course, one of our shadow defenses becomes vagueness and uncertainty and disconnect or disassociation. So wearing hematite helps to anchor you in your body. It's a great stone for fortitude. It's a great stone for facing difficult situations with courage, with strength, with conviction. Because of course, teachers, you chose to be teachers because you chose to touch lives and change lives. It's such a noble calling. And so that can help ground you back in that sense of purpose when you're faced with a situation where, I know a lot of you may not wish to be going back right now, and yet you have to. And so how do you get anchored in your strength? How do you stay anchored in your power? And this can certainly help. And the other thing is too, you're going to be working with students and caring for students and guiding students who have also been through incredibly challenging times this year. Not just in terms of the isolation and the effects of pandemic on their lives, but also the emotional stress and anxiety that a lot of students have faced or have dealt with. You also may have students who have gone out to protests with their families, who are aware of the civil unrest and for the causes of that. And that, of course, will also affect them emotionally and mentally in good ways and bad. You also may have students in your classes who, quite unfortunately, have gone hungry far too many days in the past while, who have been trapped at home with abusers, where school, would give them some kind of respite or pull them out of certain situations. And so you're also going to be not only coping with whatever you're feeling and experiencing and, what your colleagues are feeling and experiencing, but also these kids. And what they've gone through, and how they're going to look to you for support and guidance. And some of them may respond in ways that are wonderful, and some of them may not, because they're really struggling. And so the hematite can certainly help in terms of keeping you grounded in your conviction, in your strength, in your ability to not just support yourself but also to support others. And on that note, I also felt it was important to recommend a couple of these crystals here. Rose quartz for compassion, for love. And, these energies too, those energy frequencies are very powerful buffers when it comes to, a lower or harmful energy, which of course can be stress, can be upset, can be all kinds of things, shadow. It's something I talk about in my Crystal Empowerment for Empaths course. Those of you teachers who are empathic, who are really going to deeply feel what your students are feeling, as well as people in society in general, parents, whoever you might encounter, being able to be in that heart-centered, loving place is actually an energetic buffer that helps to raise the energy frequency of the energy that is around you, and also help you to connect with your students and other people in a very heart-centered way. Have compassion for yourself, have compassion for others, and be able to embody that nurturing energy. Chrysocola and Aquamarine are two other crystals that I recommend for that. And the added benefit of these crystals, because as I said, they've got multiple benefits. With Aquamarine, you've also got courage. You've also got being able to communicate and express yourself in a way that is compassionate, but that is also strong and clear. It's also wonderful for feelings of anxiety and feelings of emotional upset, as is Chrysocola. Chrysocola also has a really, really powerful vibe in terms of compassion, again, for the self, as well as for others. And for some of you, your nerves may be frayed, you may be tired and heading back into this situation, which is very much the unknown. And of course, this can create moments where you might feel angry, where you might lose your temper, all of these really understandable human reactions to all the incredible stress you're facing. And so Chrysocola can be very beneficial there, and also has those wonderful, these are both water stones in terms of element. And so that cooling, that soothing, that being able to go with the flow, the embodiment of that divine or sacred feminine energy, which is all about flow, all about energy, all about intuition. You're also able to tap in to that energy. And I'm suggesting a bunch of different crystals here because I don't know what you have in your collections, I don't know what you might have access to, but also there are certain crystals that may resonate more for you than others. and sometimes even on a given day. So trust what you feel drawn to in terms of, wearing them if you've got smaller pieces or pieces in jewelry that you can wear, as well as sitting and meditating with them. Some of them will even be remarkably restorative in your sleep. Aragonite star cluster is definitely one of those. It heals on multiple levels simultaneously. It's extremely powerful. It's extremely empowering. This is you stepping into your sacred divine self, your soul being self. It's also very powerfully healing and restorative to the aura, which is another video that I put up recently, or will be putting up, in terms of healing and restorative work you can do for your energy field, which surrounds you but also flows through you. An Aragonite star cluster is an extremely powerful crystal for that, and this is a nice one to sleep with, because while it's very powerful and healing and restorative and empowering, it's also not one that's going to keep you awake at night, because you are going to need your sleep. And so with one like this, you can either place a bigger piece on the bedside table on the side that you sleep, or you can even place it under your pillow, or of course wear it. And then last but not least, I have two more that I'm recommending. One is Chara White, and this is a crystal of courage. It's also a crystal, a really kind of deep healing emotional crystal in terms of traumatic experiences, emotional wounding, patterning that may be working through you, because of course while you're a teacher and you're embodying this role of teacher for other people, you're also your own human being who has gone through this tumultuous year, and we're only 2/3 of the way through. Maybe you feel things coming up in your process that can be challenging, and you have to put them aside while you're teaching, but then coming back. And so while this is a stone of courage, it's also a crystal that can help you work through whatever might be coming up for you in terms of your own healing process, in terms of your own shadow healing process, and whatever challenges you have faced and so far come through, because you're still here this year. And last but not least, again, this is a really beneficial crystal, especially for the empathic teachers who are out there. Tourmaline Quartz. So this is black tourmaline that is included in quartz. And what the quartz does is the quartz helps to amplify and magnify the energies of the black tourmaline, which certainly helps with energy protection. It helps to neutralize lower harmful energy, both inside and outside. It helps to bring us into greater alignment and clarity. And it's really also, this combination is really beneficial to wear in terms of cycling energy. If you feel like you're going through the day and sometimes there's good moments and there's bad moments and you're back and forth and you're having to adjust to all of this, this crystal can really help you. So those are my crystal recommendations for teachers, and I do hope that this has been of service to you. I will have the transcript with photos of these crystals on my blog, on my website. The link will be here in the description if you'd like to take a look at that, if you'd like to bookmark the information so that you can return to it more quickly and easily. You can do that. And also for those of you who are empathic, who feel like you could use extra help and support at this time, it may be worth your while to check out my Crystal Empowerment for Empaths course, because I specifically designed that course to bring people past wear this crystal for protection to helping them really come back into their power in terms of working their intuitive abilities as empaths and being able to channel and project frequencies that are shielding, empowering for them. So that's the video. I do hope it was of service to you, and thank you, teachers, for all that you do and for your service to us. You are loved, you are appreciated, and you are needed. So thank you and blessings.